Hello, welcome, Helen, Authentic Discovery with a Speak Your Truth conversation. Thank you so much for joining us. If you'd like to like, subscribe, share, that would be lovely. All information will be down the bottom. This week's conversation is with the beautiful Salome. So Salome, thank you so much for agreeing to join me in conversation. And would you like to introduce yourself?
My name's Salome. I'm a waitress in Dublin. I'm 22.
Okay, so you're a young woman in a capital
I'm a
city.
young woman.
Sorry?
I'm a young woman.
You are a young woman. So you said you work as a waitress in Dublin. And is that what I suppose what your accent isn't quite Irish, so would you like to tell me about how you got to Dublin, because Dublin's Ireland?
Well,
To Ireland.
I'm of Irish descent. My dad is Irish, so I was originally born in Birmingham, but I think I moved over when I was 6 months old. 6 months old, I think, to Ireland, to Dublin, and then lived in Ireland for 10 years, not in Dublin County Meath, for 10, 11 years. And then that's when the recession happened and redundancies were made. So my mom went and looked for a job in England with, the support of my dad and the family, go look for a job over there because she is from there. And that's where, So yeah, she went and found one and then lived there for 10 years. And not many people could understand me because this is a very thick, culty, an accent to go over to England. So it kind of just faded out.
Okay. All right. And so what brought you back to Dublin? Was it a call of your roots?
I think it was, because everywhere I went in the world, I'd always end up back in Dublin or Ireland, anywhere I went, and this is always my home. England was always somewhere I lived. Okay. Ireland was always a home for me.
Okay, I can hear an Irish twang coming in now. Okay, so what inspires you, Salome?
What inspires me? I'd say probably my family the most, and myself.
Oh, it's good to hear that. I've spoken to a few people who are inspired by some of the stuff they've done themselves. I think that's quite beautiful when you can inspire yourself, because then you kind of become your own motivation. You can create, hello. You can create your own energy around things. Are we stable again?
I think so.
Okay. So like I was saying, if you've got your family that inspires you, and then but you've got something within yourself. So there's that. I suppose it's kind of, I don't know how you feel as a young woman, but what I've just heard is there's a foundation there of something that you can rely on within yourself.
Yeah, there is no, yeah. It's all, if you, wake up every day and you go out and do something that you enjoy doing, and, you spread the positivity stuff out there, then you are inspiring, you can wake up and you can kind of not, just kind of pull yourself together. Even if you're having a really bad day, you can write, I'm alive, I'm good today, let's go, I've got a job, got a house, I'm good, let's just go. That is inspiring, because some people can't actually even wake up. They can't, they can't fathom the thought of just even getting out of bed. So getting out of bed is one of the first steps to having a good day.
Cool. So you spoke then about like having a job, having a home, and doing things that you love. So you really love your job?
I do. I do love it. At times it's difficult, but it's very rewarding, I find.
Okay. So that's an industry that you want to be in?
Yes, I like working with people, and and making sure they're happy, and food. So
Okay. So you like food too?
I do.
All right then. Okay. So is there a life event? Is there something? Is there one moment in your life, or is there something that's happened in your life that obviously you've moved countries, so that's quite big. But is there something that's happened in your life that changed your life that you can kind of go, that was the moment that something different started to happen?
I'd say there was a few. There's been a few. There was one um when I was younger. I was hospitalized. There was something wrong with my blood, and I had no blood in my body, and I had to put a blood transfusion that wasn't working, and I didn't realize the severity of it until I grew up. I just thought I was in hospital and there was something wrong. But they didn't know what was going on. They tried everything and nothing was working. So eventually I was dying. But then, I'm here. So whatever
Yeah.
they done was worked.
So you never died, which is
I
great.
never died, which is good.
Yeah.
But that was very, like things can just slip out of your hands so easily. And I wasn't very close with my mom at the time, and that really brought us close. And that was life changing for me. That was really life changing, because she's my rock. So she's like one of my best friends now. So yeah. And then there's loads of I would have life changing moments every 3 times a year, maybe. I
All
look
right.
back and
Okay.
think, oh, because I look back at things like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. I won't do that again. So that's going to change my life in the future.
Yeah, I suppose I've never.
So
When I was thinking of the question, I suppose I was thinking of these huge things in my own head. But
mm,
you're quite right. Throughout, there are constant things in your life that, oh, that's changed my life, and
yeah,
I suppose everything
you,
is like that. So I've never really seen it like that. So thank you for that.
no, it is. It's like if you wear a pair of stiletto heels, you fall over, won't be wearing them again, changing your life. It's something that just happens.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a constant. I suppose.
And then,
The other thing is, as you get to this end of your life, you've done those things, and that's probably why I don't wear huge stiletto heels, because it's the pain and everything else. So you're constantly evolving and changing, and it's the only constant that there really is. Um, but it sounds like you have a great lust for life, is what I'm hearing, and an appreciation of it, which is really lovely to hear. Do you think that that's something that is do you find people of your age are like that? What would you say was your generational thing? Are you very much your generation, I suppose, is what I'm asking?
I my generation is a bit different. A lot of us are, very like me, very life is this. A lot of us are get up and go out and let's do this, but then the other half of us are very well, there's loads of different sides of us, but I think we're a very emotional generation.
Is that in touch
And
with your emotions and aware of them, or you just find that you just react constantly with emotion?
I'd say react constantly with emotion, and I wouldn't say we're very in touch with them, but
Okay.
there's my generation is so in limbo. So you
Feel
have the
that your
generation
generation's in
after.
limbo. Is that due to
Yeah,
what's happened recently, or is it just that life thing of like, it's going to happen, my life's going to start, like you're constantly waiting for something to happen? Is it down to what's happening, or do you think it's just a stage that, because I can remember feeling like that, so I'm just curious what you.
it's it's the like, okay, I should really go out and do this and change it, but then again I can wait a little bit longer and see if it's going to change for me.
Okay,
It's like,
I think that's something that I think that most generations, as you were speaking, what I heard was that was quite a question to ask someone, to sort of sum up their generation, so to speak, because each generation has all different types of people, and you did kind of say
Mhm.
that. And when you've spoken, I mean, I can still hear aspects of that within my own self and my own generation as well. So it's just a life thing for you.
Yeah.
But are you classed as a millennial?
I think so. I think I just about. I'm not too sure.
All right. It's just that the
I think.
millennials, when I hear about the millennials, it's not very positive, to be fair. It's
Mm.
always
But
they're
we're all
self-indulged and I don't hear positive things about them
no.
really.
It's well, social media and has a lot to do with the negativity going on with my generation. Because you see the people like the Kardashian Jenner, and then you see influencers, and then you see, excuse me, constant ads, excuse me, of body fat, body loss, weight loss, and all these. These are just some of the ads on my Instagram and Facebook. It's all about getting that perfect body. So, you know,
All
my
right.
generation is, and the social media generation is, very targeted to look a certain way, and that it's all that. So
Serious
there's
pressure.
serious pressure
Yeah,
for us
yeah.
to look a
More
certain
unrelenting,
way.
I think. It's relentless in this time now because we all hold a device that is constantly feeding stuff to us. Whereas I
Hmm.
was fortunate that there was 4 channels on the TV. Well, there was only two, three, and then there was four, and now there's thousands upon thousands of channels from all
Yeah.
over the world, and they're all sort of saying the same kind of thing. And so the ads were via the TV, via the newspapers, magazines, and then billboards. Whereas now you're literally carrying constant advertisement in your pocket
Mhm.
and you're very attached to your social media. Um, just, I suppose, what are your thoughts on social media in terms of, do you give yourself holidays from it, or is it something that you do? How does it work in your life?
Well, when during lockdown, it was a huge part because it was just because we couldn't go and do anything, so it was very attached to my hand, like 24/7. It was always in my hand, which is you know like most of the time. But now that I'm back in work, I use it in the morning to just have a scroll through and whatnot, and then I listen to music or a video call, chat with my family, and I walk to work, and then it's on the side at work, and me and my friend at work will usually probably show each other funny pictures from it. But it's for me now, it's more just connecting with my family and whatnot, and having a scroll through
So do
Instagram.
you feel that it control, because there's an element of like, does it control you or do
Oh,
you
100%.
control it? So do you control it
It
or does it
does.
control you?
No, it probably controls me, because if I leave the house without my phone, I'm panicking, thinking where have I put it, you know.
Okay, okay. So do you think that will change as it, because you're aware of that? Is that something that you're happy with? And do you think that people are, because it's like, years ago you would, I don't know, at the end of the day, it's something that is become an accessory. It's like putting your earrings in. I like to wear earrings.
Mhm.
So it's like putting your earrings in. So do you think that, but it's far more, it has the propensity to be far more insidious and dangerous than just not going out without your makeup on, so to speak. Do you think that you, because of your awareness of it, will you change that, do you think, or do you think that just
I
that's what it is, that that's
I probably will change. I probably be able to leave it, or not have it on me all the time. Because it's it is something that I can change, and that I will hopefully change, because I don't want to be stuck to like a device, because it's like it sucks your energy out of you. You're not meant to actually sleep with a phone beside you, because that's when your body needs to recharge, and
Yeah.
instead of you recharging, it's that your phone's
Yeah. Yeah.
so
So,
there is
yeah, I know that I took a few days off a couple of months ago. I said I'm putting my phone down for a couple of days, and one of my daughters was actually like, I don't know how I feel about that. You know, that kind of lack of connection that they were kind of like, oh, I'm not sure how I feel about that. And I remember, I think it was last year, a couple of my daughters went off to other parts of Europe. And I remember thinking, I don't want to see everything that they're doing, because one of the beauties of when I was growing up was that, you know, it's not all recorded. I was able to make my mistakes and to do my wild things, and it wasn't all recorded. There might be the odd snap out there of something ridiculous, but your generation and people, even everybody now, we connect to our phones in such a way, and our devices, that every aspect of our life is recorded. So our learning stumbles, and I don't have a problem with that per se. My concern, and what I've seen, is that as you get older, then what happens is those things are used as weapons against you, to hold you into a certain frame and to not allow you to grow. So they become it almost becomes a prison for you. So you know, and young people's openness with the internet is something that I'm still trying to get to grips with.
We're very, very open with the internet. You know, there's a lot of things out there that, you know, which some of the stuff I do quite find empowering, because some men and women are taking back the sort of they're taking back them sort of things, and they're taking back their power, you know. And some of it is, you know, a bit like everything is filmed now, everything, and there's so many things out there. When I was growing up, and so the most outrageous things I seen on my social media was Instagram pages of girls being not targeted, but targeted as their nudes got leaked. So there was Instagram pages of that, and now that's the most common thing to see.
Oh, it's a shame.
You know,
I have to say, I experienced my first, I think they're called dick pics, recently, and I also received something yesterday that I don't like that kind of thing, and I think that's something that you know, my husband was saying that that's normal. People do that now. You know, men don't feel any way about doing stuff like that.
You're very lucky you only got a dick pic. You said you're very lucky you only got a dick pic.
No, I got something else as well, and I really I find that disturbing, to be fair, that people feel comfortable enough to send that kind of intimacy to strangers that it's not requested. I mean, when I was, you know, porn, which is what it was classed as, was on a top shelf, and you could go and take it, and you could. And I do think that there's something else within that, though. I suppose there's a freedom of sexuality, but I didn't invite it or want it, so I'm not really. And the fact that you're saying that there's a lot of this just in general, so people's intimacy is a commodity. They've always used sex as a commodity, but it's a commodity. It's something that I'm not sure that side of it for me is good.
No.
I think my internet connection isn't great, so I apologise to everybody for that.
No,
it's gone wrong. But yeah, so this lockdown, you know, like what sort of things did you have plans that have been scuppered? Oh right, okay, take that. Yes. So how did you find the recent lockdown? What are your thoughts on it?
Well, my lockdown was a little bit more difficult because a week before lockdown, I moved out and into my own place with someone from work. So that was a struggle. Moving out, regardless of a lockdown, is a struggle. But moving out and then having to spend 24/7 with someone that you like only worked with,
Yeah.
And you just see each other passing by and whatnot. Yeah, it's a
All right.
struggle.
Okay.
But I think, and then after 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I went down to my mom and dad's house, which was a huge blessing for me to be able to do, because the girl that I live with at the moment, she's from Italy, so I couldn't imagine I couldn't imagine not being able to go and see my parents, so that really helped. But no, it was a good experience, maybe.
So did you learn
It
anything about yourself that you didn't know, or did it cement anything? Was there something that happened with that? Because it's a question that I've seen posted, like, what did you learn about yourself? And so I'm kind of in that reflective state myself. And for me, I was hoping that a load of positive stuff would come, that I learned all these wonderful things. No, it's a bit of a balance.
no.
There's stuff I don't like as well. So
Yeah, there was I like carbs a lot.
you like
I know carbs.
Oh,
Carbs. And I noticed that, because I'm not going out and doing walking or anything, and my portion sizes just grew, and I was just cooking constantly, and it showed me how actually not unfit, but how unexercised I really am. And you do take it, going outside, you took it a lot for granted.
yeah.
But I didn't know, I realized a few good things about me. I realized I can sleep a day without waking up.
You can sleep for days. Okay.
But no, there was not huge things, just little things. Like you said, you expected to have this epiphany of like, oh my gosh, but in reality, it was not that. It was,
Yeah, yeah. So, what are your plans now that, because the lockdown is easing, although it's not completely off, and there may be another lockdown or whatever. So, do you have plans for the next 3 to 6 months? Is there anything, or are you just sort of heading in the direction of your dreams in general?
I'd say I'm heading in the direction of my dreams in general, but there are things obviously that I need to want to achieve before that my big dream comes true. Well, the plan this year was to get my driving sorted, get a car, and start becoming an adult. So that'll be one of the first things to tick off would be getting a license and that direction.
Okay, cool.
Hopefully that's in the next 3 to 6 months.
Okay. I want to ask if somebody would like to connect with you for whatever reason. You're not in business, so there's no business sort of connections going on. I would have. So if you want people to connect with you, if anything that you've said resonates with them, and they wish to connect with you, can they find you, or would you prefer people to just watch this and not really? I suppose I feel that because there's no business. It's not as if you have a business or a venture that you would like to promote. So,
well, no, if people want me, they can find me.
okay. I like that. So this has been quite a short speak your truth, but it has been quite lovely. But what truth would you like to share?
Don't give second chances. Don't don't give second chances, and just get out of bed, make your bed. If you have, and just have a good outlook in life, just wake up. There's so many things that can tear you down, and and there's like yesterday some guy was shouting at me at work saying I'd never get into heaven. I was like, okay, it's fine, just take it. It was a bit of a weird day, but I did, it angered me for a little bit, but then I was like, you know what, poor him, leave him to it. So
I
you just
am
got to have a
intrigued.
positive outlook.
There's two things you said there that really intrigued me. Number one is don't give second chances. Is that across the board or in
No,
certain specific areas?
if someone has, done you wrong, then don't give them a second chance to do you wrong again, because people have a pattern,
Okay.
but
So is
if you can.
forgiveness in there? Forgive them
Oh
and
yeah,
then walk
you
away.
have to forgive. Yeah, you have to forgive them in order to forgive yourself. Because if you're not forgiving them, you're still holding that angry, you're still holding that chip, and it's that chip is going to break away at you, and you're always going to hold that grudge.
Okay.
Excuse me. So forgive yourself for allowing, just to have that inner peace.
Okay. So across the board, don't give second. So okay.
Excuse me.
And
Better easier said than done.
yes, I'd say so. Especially when emotion, and we spoke about, that the generation of being emotional, but if you're in love with someone, it's very difficult, or if it's somebody that you love. But I do hear that, they either are creating a pattern or they're just within that pattern. And the other thing that you said, it was somebody told you wasn't going to heaven. I'm curious what that was about.
There's this guy that comes into work, and he's an old guy. I'm assuming he has some difficulties and problems. He comes in, at the start of it, it was quite funny, he'll come in like, hello, Birmingham, hello. And we always say about spaghetti junction. When he's a diabetic, so he can't have sugar and whatnot. So we know exactly what to give him. And he wants, where's the low-fat milk? We haven't got low-fat milk. That's an absolute disgrace. How dare you? Where's the manager? It's like, we haven't got low-fat milk. The manager's not here. Well, you should order some in then. It's like, we can't just order the one in. We can't, even if we do order it in, it goes. People use it. Or no one uses it and it goes off and we have to throw it away. Well, then just take it in for me. Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, we can't do that. And he's like, well, you're never going to go to heaven. There's not going to be a seat there for you.
Oh, right, okay.
And and saying that's a disgrace. How dare you? And all
so
that.
you're not going to heaven because your employer doesn't have any low-fat milk?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh,
And then
okay. It wasn't as adverse as I thought it was.
No.
I suppose there's a blessing that he's not going to be standing at the gate if heaven's your destination.
I'll save him a seat wherever.
I'll save him a seat wherever I go. Okay.
But it's just, waitresses do get a lot of stick, regardless of it being low-fat milk or we've gotten someone's order wrong or something. People see us as dim-witted, blonde waitresses that, but the majority of people I work with have masters and degrees.
No, I don't think a good waitress or waiter or person that comes to serve me is dim-witted at all, in all fairness. I've had some beautiful, wonderful experiences with people that have come to bring my bits and pieces and whatever. So, Salome, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing along. You just right. Sorry, what did you say?
I said, I hope I've been all right.
Oh my gosh, you've been beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me in conversation. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you to everyone for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed this week's Speak Your Truth conversation with Salome as much as I have. As an older person, it's been inspiring to meet someone and to talk with somebody about their lives and their experiences. Some of it has caused me concern, but anyway, that's life. There's many things in there in our lives at the moment. So be mindful, be careful, be grateful, be kind, and thank you. Subscribe, like. Information on how you can contact me will be down below, and if there's anything that I can offer to aid you, then please do get in touch. So thank you.